This quiet habit built more success than talent ever did. Talent gets attention. It always has. We notice the gifted kid first, the natural speaker, the person who seems to just get it. We clap early. We assume the ending. But history keeps pulling the rug out from under that assumption. The long view. Because when you zoom out far enough, 5 years, 10 years, a lifetime, the people who last are rarely the most talented in the room. They're the most consistent, and not in a loud, motivational way. Quiet consistency, boring consistency, the kind nobody quotes on social media because it doesn't sound impressive. Today's story isn't about genius. It's not about overnight success. It's about a habit so ordinary it almost disappears. Yet it outperforms talent again and again. Welcome to HistoryMaker Stories. This channel isn't about false inspiration. It's about how real progress actually happens. Slowly, quietly, without applause, we tell true stories and human stories, and pull out the patterns that don't trend but do work. Let's get into it. The myth of talent. Here's the thing most people don't like to admit. Talent is real. It matters. But talent has a flaw nobody talks about. It makes early success feel easy. And when something feels easy, we don't build systems around it. We don't protect it. We don't practice the boring parts. Talent often skips the habit stage. Think about it. The kid who never had to study. The athlete who never had to train their fundamentals. The creative who relied on inspiration instead of routine. When pressure shows up, when competition increases, when life gets messy, talent alone has nothing to lean on. History is full of brilliant people who burned bright and then vanished. Not because they weren't gifted, because they never built the habit that carries you when motivation leaves. Talent creates a dangerous illusion. The illusion that results come from who you are, not what you do. So when results slow down, talented people panic. They wonder if they've lost it, if they were ever that good to begin with, if maybe everyone else was just being kind. Meanwhile, the people who built habits aren't panicking. They are just doing the work. Same as yesterday, same as tomorrow, because their identity isn't tied to feeling talented. It's tied to showing up. The quiet habit. Now let's talk about the habit itself. It's not flashy. No miracle morning routine. No extreme discipline montage. Just this. Doing the same small, important action every day whether it feels rewarding or not. That's it. The habit is boring on purpose. Same time, same effort, same standard. Not chasing intensity, chasing reliability. Every day starts the same. No drama, no waiting for the perfect mood. You don't ask, do I feel like it today? You ask, what does the habit require today? Some days it feels meaningful. Most days it feels neutral. A few days it feels pointless. Those days matter the most, because those are the days that separate people who want success from people who build it. Anyone can show up when they're inspired, when the work feels good, when progress is visible. But can you show up when none of that is true? When the work feels empty, when no one's watching, when you're not even sure it matters? That's a question the habit answers, and it answers it the same way every time. Yes, why habits beat motivation. Motivation is emotional. Habits are structural. Motivation depends on how you feel. Habits depend on who you decided to be. Here's what people miss. Motivation is expensive. It drains energy. It needs constant refueling. Habits run in the background. They don't argue with you. They don't need convincing. When life gets busy, when things go wrong, when nobody's watching, habits keep moving. That's why two people with equal talent end up in very different places. One waits to feel ready. The other shows up anyway. Over time, that gap becomes impossible to ignore. Think about what motivation requires. You need to remember why you're doing this. You need to feel the purpose. You need to conjure enough emotional energy to override resistance. That's exhausting. Habits don't require any of that. They are automated, pre-decided, non-negotiable. The decision was made once. Now it just executes. This is why habits feel effortless once they're established. Not because the work gets easier, because the decision-making disappears. You're not choosing whether to do it. You're just doing it. That difference saves thousands of decisions over a lifetime. The first year nobody sees. Let's talk about what actually happens in the beginning, because this is where most people quit. The first year of a habit is invisible. No recognition, no big results, just repetition. You show up, you do the work, nothing dramatic changes. Day 1 looks like day 90. People around you might even question it. Why are you still doing that? Has it paid off yet? Don't you want faster results? From the outside, it looks stubborn, maybe even naive. But something else is happening under the surface. Your body is learning. Your brain is rewiring. Your baseline is shifting. You're not just practicing a skill. You're becoming a different kind of person. The kind who doesn't need external validation to keep going. The kind who trusts process over proof. That transformation is invisible, but it's everything. What it looks like over years. This is where the real story lives. Not in the first month. Not even the first year. Year 2 looks different from year 1. Year 5 looks different from year 2. At first, habits are invisible. Then, slowly, they become undeniable. Judgment improves. Errors decrease. Confidence becomes quieter but deeper. The habit compounds skill, decision-making, self-trust, and one day, not suddenly but clearly, the gap appears. The talented but inconsistent stall. The consistent begin to pull away. Not dramatically, reliably. This is what people miss when they study success. They see the outcome and try to reverse engineer the moment. They look for the breakthrough, the turning point, the decision that changed everything. But there usually isn't one. There's just thousands of unremarkable days that accumulated into something remarkable. The habit didn't create one big result. It created a person capable of producing results consistently. That's far more valuable. Why this habit feels unattractive? Let's be honest. This habit doesn't sell well. There's no moment to brag about. No screenshot. No applause. It asks you to work without proof. To invest without certainty. And that's uncomfortable. Most people want visible progress fast. They want real assurance. Habits ask for faith without hype. That's why they work. The fewer people willing to commit to them, the less competition there is on the long road. Think about what gets celebrated online. The transformation photo, the revenue milestone, the moment someone made it. Nobody posts about day 417 of showing up with no results. Nobody writes a tweet thread about maintaining the same boring routine for 3 years straight. That's not content, but it's a foundation underneath every success story we're studying. The habit is unattractive by design. It filters out people who need constant encouragement, people who quit when progress isn't immediate, people who are more interested in looking successful than being effective. If you can endure the unattractiveness, you've already won most of the battle. The psychological shift. Something happens when you commit to a habit long enough. Your relationship to outcomes changes. At first, you're outcome-focused. You're doing the habit because you want a result. You're checking for progress constantly. You're measuring yourself against where you think you should be. But over time, that shifts. You stop needing the outcome to validate the effort. You do the work because it's who you are now. This is the identity shift. You're no longer someone trying to build a habit. You're someone who has this habit. That sounds like semantics. It's not. It changes how you show up. When the habit is external, you have to force yourself. When it's internal, it's just what you do. No negotiation. No willpower required. It's automatic. And that's when the real compounding begins. The identity shift. Eventually, something changes. You stop relying on confidence. You stop chasing validation. You trust the habit. You know that if you keep showing up, results will catch up later. This is where sustainable success comes from. Not bursts of effort, but a quiet agreement you keep with yourself. Day after day, year after year, the agreement is simple. I will show up. I will do the work. I will not quit when it's boring. That's it. No elaborate contracts. No motivational speeches. Just a commitment made once and honored daily. And here's what most people don't realize until they've lived it. That agreement becomes the most valuable asset you have. Not the skill you're building. The fact that you can build skills. Not the outcome you're chasing. The fact that you know how to chase outcomes effectively. The habit teaches you that you're capable of sustained effort. And once you know that, everything changes. Because you realize most things aren't about talent. They're about whether you can stay with something long enough for it to work. Most people can't. But you can, and that makes you rare. When talent runs out, let's talk about what happens to talent without habits. Because this is the part that doesn't get told enough. Talent has a shelf life, not because it disappears, but because the world catches up. In the beginning, talent creates distance. You're ahead simply because you have a natural advantage. Less effort required, faster learning curve, better intuition. But over time, that advantage shrinks. Other people learn, they practice, they catch up, and suddenly, the gap that felt comfortable becomes non-existent. Now what? If all you had was talent, you're in trouble. Because you never learn how to work when things don't come naturally. You never built the systems that carry you when intuition fails. But if you built habits alongside your talent, you're fine. Because habits don't depend on feeling gifted. They depend on showing up. And showing up is something you can do whether you're having a good day or not. This is why so many talented people plateau. Not because they stop trying, because they never learn how to try without immediate reward. They need to feel good about the work to do the work. And life doesn't always cooperate with that need. Part 10. The unsexy truth. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Most success is boring. It's the same action repeated so many times it stops feeling like effort. It's waking up at the same time, following the same process, maintaining the same standard. Day after day, week after week, year after year. There's no viral moment in that story. No dramatic pivot. No sudden realization. No breakthrough you can point to and say, that's when everything changed. It changed slowly. So slowly you didn't notice until you look back. And looking back, you realize a habit built everything. Not genius, not luck, not connections. Just showing up, consistently, quietly, without needing anyone to notice. Why this works long term. Let's talk about sustainability. Because that's what habits give you. Not a sprint. A system that lasts decades. Think about what burns people out. Intensity without structure, effort without rhythm, pushing without rest. Habits eliminate all of that, because habits aren't about maximum effort. They're about sustainable effort. You're not asking yourself to do everything. You're asking yourself to do one thing reliably, and that one thing, repeated over years, becomes leverage. This is how people build careers that last, relationships that deepen, skills that compound. Not by working harder than everyone else, by working longer. And working longer is only possible if the work is sustainable. Habits make work sustainable the moment it pays off. And then, one day, something shifts. Not suddenly, but clearly. The work you've been doing quietly starts producing visible results. People notice. They ask how you did it, what your secret was. And the honest answer, there was no secret. Just a habit, repeated for longer than most people were willing to wait. But here's what's interesting. By the time people notice, you're not doing it for them anymore. You're doing it because it's who you are. The external validation is nice, but it's not necessary, because the habit already gave you something more valuable. Proof that you can commit, proof that you can endure, proof that you're the kind of person who finishes what they start. That's worth more than applause. Talent might open a door, but habits decide whether you stay in the room. History doesn't reward potential. It rewards follow-through. And the people who shape the world rarely look impressive while they are doing it. They just keep going. Same time, same effort, same commitment, year after year, until one day, the gap between them and everyone else is so wide it looks like talent. But it's not. It's just a habit. Repeated, protected, honored, long after motivation faded. If you're building something that takes time, a skill, a business, a life you can stand behind, this channel is for you. Subscribe to HistoryMaker Stories if you believe in progress that lasts longer than motivation. We'll be here, quietly, consistently, just like the habit.